do to get you. Taking down her hair like, oh my god, taking off your shirt.
Welcome everyone. Today we have a very special story to help you practice and improve your English listening skills. Listening is one of the most important parts of learning a language. When you listen carefully, you not only hear the words, but you also understand the meaning, the emotions, and the ideas behind them. Listening to stories is different from just studying grammar or memorizing vocabulary. Stories show how English is really used in real life. You will hear sentences, expressions, and vocabulary in a natural way, which makes it easier to remember and understand. As you listen today, I want you to stay focused and pay attention to every detail. Try to imagine the story in your mind, picture the characters, and feel the emotions they are feeling. This will help you understand better and also make the story more enjoyable. Listening to stories also trains your brain to think in English. Instead of translating every word in your head, you will start understanding meaning naturally. And that is a very important skill for improving your English. Another great thing about listening to stories is that it helps you learn new words and expressions naturally. You will hear how words are used in sentences, in conversations, and in different situations. This is much more effective than just memorizing lists of words. Listening also improves your pronunciation and rhythm, because you hear how words are spoken naturally. Over time, your English will sound more fluent and natural too. Finally, listening to stories can also inspire and motivate you. A good story can make you feel emotions, think about new ideas, and even learn important life lessons. So, today's story is not just for practicing English, it's also for learning about life, feelings, and how people overcome challenges. So, get ready, find a comfortable place, focus your mind, and open your ears. Listen carefully to every word, every feeling, and every action in the story. Try to understand as much as you can, and most importantly, enjoy the story. The story of Emma. Emma was a quiet girl, with thoughtful eyes and a gentle smile. She lived in a small town where everyone seemed to know each other, yet she often felt invisible. At school, Emma did well in her classes, but she was not the kind of student who raised her hand often or spoke loudly. She preferred listening, observing, and writing her thoughts in a small notebook she carried everywhere. Emma loved simple things. She loved the sound of rain on her window, the smell of old books, and walking home alone after school while watching the sky change colors. Even though she had friends, she sometimes felt like no one truly understood her. She felt emotions deeply, but she rarely shared them. At home, Emma was the oldest child. Her parents worked long hours, and she often helped take care of her younger brother. She never complained. She believed being strong meant staying quiet and not asking for help. When her parents were tired, she smiled. When her brother was loud, she stayed patient. Inside, however, she felt tired and overwhelmed. One day at school, Emma failed an important test. It was the first time it had ever happened. When she saw the grade, her heart dropped. She felt ashamed, scared, and disappointed in herself. She told no one. She went home, closed her bedroom door, and sat on her bed holding her notebook. For the first time, she wrote not poems or stories, but her fears. From that day on, Emma began to feel pressure everywhere. She felt pressure to be perfect, to be responsible, to never make mistakes. She started comparing herself to others and thinking she was not good enough. Her smile became smaller, and her notebook became heavier, with words she never spoke. One afternoon, while walking home, Emma noticed an old woman sitting alone on a park bench. The woman looked lost and sad. Emma walked past her, then stopped. Something inside her told her to go back. She sat next to the woman and simply said, "Hello." The woman smiled and started talking. She spoke about her life, her mistakes, and the dreams she once had. Emma listened quietly. When the woman finished, she looked at Emma and said, "You listen very well." People who listen usually carry a lot inside. Those words stayed with Emma. A few weeks later, Emma's school announced a writing competition. The winner would have their story published. Emma hesitated. She had never shared her writing with anyone. Her notebook was personal, full of emotions and secrets. But she remembered the woman's words and decided to try. She wrote a story about a girl who felt invisible, but learned that her feelings mattered. She wrote honestly, without trying to be perfect. When she handed in the paper, her hands were shaking. Days passed. Emma tried not to think about it. Then one morning, her teacher called her name in class. Emma's heart raced. The teacher smiled and announced that Emma had won first place. Emma felt something she had never felt before, not pride alone, but relief. Relief that her voice mattered. Relief that being honest was enough. That afternoon, Emma went home and told her parents everything. She told them about the pressure she felt, the fears she carried, and how tired she was. Her parents listened quietly, surprised and emotional. They apologized for not noticing sooner, and reminded her that she did not have to be strong all the time. That night, Emma wrote one last sentence in her notebook. Being strong does not mean being silent. From that day on, Emma changed, not suddenly, but slowly. She learned to speak when she needed help. She learned that mistakes were part of growing. She continued writing, not to hide her feelings, but to understand them. Years later, Emma would remember the girl. She once was the quiet girl with the heavy notebook, and she would smile, knowing she had learned one of the most important lessons in life. Lesson of the story: you do not have to be perfect to be valuable. Your feelings matter, your voice matters, and asking for help is not a weakness. True strength comes from honesty, self-acceptance, and the courage to be yourself. This was the story of Emma. From her journey, we can learn a very important lesson. You do not have to be perfect to be valuable. Your feelings matter, your voice matters, and asking for help is not a weakness. True strength comes from being honest with yourself, accepting who you are, and having the courage to share your thoughts and emotions with others. Just like Emma, we can all face challenges, feel invisible at times, or worry about making mistakes, but it is our honesty, kindness, and willingness to learn that truly make us strong. Stories like Emma's also remind us that it's okay to make mistakes, to ask for help, and to express our feelings. Every challenge we face can teach us something important if we take the time to understand it. Emma's experience shows that sharing your thoughts and trusting others can bring relief, understanding, and even new opportunities. Now, I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments which words in this story were difficult for you, or which phrases you didn't understand. Don't be shy writing them down, and asking about them is a great way to improve your English. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this story and learned something new today, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss the next story. Keep practicing your listening skills, keep exploring new words, and remember, every time you listen, you are improving your English step by step.
Do to get you off. Taking down her hair like, oh my god. Taking off your shirt, I did that once or twice. No, I know, I know for